when it comes to family and friends. I don't care how long we've been friends, how long you've been my aunt. I don't care.
You've been my aunt all my life.
I don't care
Well,
if
fuck
it's toxic. Right. Again, those boundaries, creating boundaries, and loving people from a distance.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I wholeheartedly believe in loving the people from a distance. Mm-hmm. I love you.
Over there.
Love ain't gonna change. I value you. I respect you. But over there in that chair, across the room, or maybe across the state, or across the country.
But I love you.
But I still love you. Just not over here.
What does it look like now as an adult versus being younger?
Yeah.
So I think there's two parts of it. There's one part that is maintaining the friendships that you have where you've evolved as people. Because I definitely have friendships where, again, only God do I have a friendship from when I was like in the 3rd grade. And we both have lived in different parts of the world. We were pen pals, all those different things. But the core values that we even shared at like 8 years old still stands now.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have the language when you were younger, but as we've evolved as people, it's just like, oh, this is what I need from you now, or this is what I don't need from you right now. And we've been able to maintain it. But even those friendships, as you develop, when you become an adult, I think are even harder. It feels like it just depends on where people are in their lives.
Yeah.
As adults. Like
Most
if you're
certainly.
trying to make friends as an adult, like you really have to be intentional.
Very intentional.
Super intentional,
Yeah.
being like, this is what I need in my circle, or does this fit in my current circle? Like, I am no longer having friends or a group of friends. Well, you can't hang with her because she don't like him. Him can't be. No, everybody got to be able to hang out together. That's it. I'm only having one party.
Yeah.
I'm having one dinner. I'm not doing all the things to fit people. Like, it should look like my life. Like, everybody should be able to blend together. So I think as an adult, that has become the most important part of a healthy relationship is, can all of my friends
Right.
be together? Because they're all a representation of me.
Yeah.
And I think that goes back to what I was saying, respect. Because if your friends respect you enough, you should be able to have events and there's no problems. Everyone act like adults.
Yes. Yes.
I think it was, no, I definitely was picky. I've always held, I'm not a person who runs with a big crowd or a big circle, so it had to be people who had my same interest. Since I was a child, my people will tell you, I've never liked dumb people. So I couldn't do it. Like, that would be my mom like, oh, be friends with so-and-so. And I'm like, I can't. She's like, why? Because they dumb. That would be I didn't have the language for it. I knew what stupid and dumb was, but she'd be like, oh, that's harsh. Don't call people dumb. But I didn't know what it was, whether it was their energy or they just didn't move the same way I did. But yeah, I think I was intentional, but I now recognize, like, oh, that's what I was doing when it was like, oh, I don't want to hang with them. I don't care if this person's popular. I don't care. Whatever qualifier that could make somebody a friend. If it didn't align with my interests or how I like to operate, my core values, if you will, in life, I couldn't be bothered.
So you was 8 years old looking at people
Sideways.
yeah, nah.
Sideways. Always.
I'm from Baltimore City, so we all hung out. We was from the city. Now, unless you was a bully or something like that, then nah, we all was running up and down the street with sneakers on and those socks. We was out there.
Not to cut you off, but like, I have acquaintances. I have people I grew up with, people I played with, but they were not my friends. So my friends could come in the house.
Oh,
yeah.
My friends were invited for sleepovers, and
Yes.
I was invited to sleepovers to their house. The other kids I just played with.
But I think that's where the blurred lines come in. Like, when I was little, I thought everybody that I played with was my friend.
I did. I thought that too.
Yeah.
I really did. Like, if we was outside having a good time, running up and down the street, getting dirty, boxing, whatever.
Yeah.
I thought y'all was all my friends.
Yeah.
I mean, now my mama was definitely not about to have all of those acquaintances come up in the house. But I had probably about 2 or 3 that were close friends. But there were some parents around the way that would let anybody come up in there. That was just how we was in the 90s. Like, it was just different.
At my mama's house.
I was gonna say that was not. We
I,
could not.
I
know
remember
everybody.
a situation when I was and this guy, I call him my best, like legit, like we were kids, and I call him my best friend. And I was always say, "This is my best friend." And I remember one day on the bus, he just really tried to fight me, and he was like, "Will we get off the bus? We fight?" And I'm like, I could not understand why my best friend wanted to fight me, and still to this day, it's still like a unknowing to me because I still don't know what the reason was. But I think in that turning point, it was to me like anybody can turn on you at any time, you know. And I gave him that level of best friend, so he was at the highest level of any friend to me, and he just kind of turned on me. And so I'm still learning that word friend, and this is just for me because I'm a people person. I love hard when I love people, and so when I meet people, it's like, oh yeah, that's my friend. But the reality of it is a lot of people are not my friends, and so I'm still at this age of 36 years old. I'm still learning what friends are. I do have wonderful examples around me, but I don't hold everybody to that level because I do feel like friends comes in different categories. Like I do have friends where I say, okay, I want to go out, so I can call this person. I do have friends like if I'm in a bind, say, hey, Nate, I'm in a bind. Like, you know,
I'm in the bind.
I'm in a bind, Nate. So I do have friends like that, and I do have friends who I can say, hey, I need you to pray. Like I have those different category of friends, and so I'm still learning to differentiate like where it comes from friend and acquaintances in my life. That's what I'm having a hard time with.
But I think it is really key to identify those people as adults because we had a hard time doing that growing up. And so becoming an adult, I feel like identifying who is that hangout friend.
Yeah.
Who is that person I can go to for good guidance or counsel?
Yeah.
Who is the person I can call on if I just need you to pray, like you said, or if I need to borrow $20. You need those type of people in your life, and you have to distinguish in between the two. But also, you can't intertwine sometimes.
Yeah.
You have to keep them at, where they are. But that goes back to what I believe that's what you were saying about all friends. You should be able to have everybody together at one time. I have learned that a lot of times that's just not possible. Like you have some people that may be socially awkward and, other people that may be extroverts. And sometimes, those two types of people crossing paths, it makes it weird.
Yeah.
And so it changes the environment, it changes the energy of the room. And so just in my case, I know I can't intertwine everybody that I'm friends with.
So as an adult, like, do you think that friendships are vital? Like that's something that we need at this time? Like, do you feel like that's a necessity, something that we need?
Absolutely. Yeah. Everybody, friendships is very important. Your friendships should give you a space from outside your marriage, your relationships. These are people most of the time you either grew up with, went to college with, or these are people who know a lot of your secrets or just know who you are.
I agree. I think going back to having my siblings be my friends, I realized I needed people outside of my family to be friends. I had the long-standing rule, like, oh, I got sisters, I don't need friends. Like, these are the people that are closest to me. But then it wasn't really till I had friendships in high school, but it wasn't really till I went off to college that I was like, oh, I need people who are having the same type of experience as I am, because my older sister my 2 older sisters didn't go to college, so they couldn't relate. Like I could tell them what was going on, but it would be like, but then I had to tell too much of the story. Versus, oh, these are people going through the same experience that I'm going through at the same time.
Yeah.
And having that, it was super, super important. It was like for survival, to be honest. And like even every day, every month, every year, as I evolved, I'm like, wow, my friends I mean, not even probably. My friends have shown up in the same way, if not more, than my family has in certain situations.
Wow.
I mean, but it's also because of access, right? Or
Yeah,
experience sharing or whatever it may be. Like, again, love my sisters to death, love my siblings to death. But
Shout out to April. Hey, girl.
hang April and Crystal.
My girl.
Those my peoples. But yeah, there's a shorthand that comes with friendship that you have the experience. You can look and be like, girl, you don't even have to say nothing. I'm going to just look at you. We're going to be okay. We're going to sit here in silence. We're going to do this. So yeah, my friendships have definitely, or a strong friendship, healthy friendship is essential for survival. Listen, we Black.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we don't have these types of friendships, we ain't gonna make it. It's community. It's not even friendships at this point. It is my community.
You actually identify when you noticed that, hey, I need friends, and that was when you were in college. Do you guys have like a pivotal point in your life where you say, oh, this is where I noticed where I needed friends? Like when I needed a friendship, like, do y'all have any time in your life where there was?
Well, I've always known I needed friends. But it's now where I realize what kind of friends that I want. I have my strong friends that's been rocking with me, but then it's the experiences that I've had in my life where I know what I want and don't want in friendships.
Yeah.
So, but I always needed my friends. I mean, my friends in my case have been my family. Not my actual family,
sure.
but my friends have been more family to me than my family.
I've always, growing up, I would say that I quantified my friends. I gauged that based off of how many I had, because I always felt like I wanted to be around a lot of people to validate me. I was one of those people that was really impressionable growing up. It was just really, for the most part, me and my sister. And she was 16 years older than me. I had my brother. It was in between, but Lord rest his soul. But it was just she and I. So I was basically an only child. So I gauged my friendships and what I thought I needed by how many of those people I had around me. And at that point, it was my cousins that were my best friends. And it wasn't until recently when I found out that I really needed a specific type of friend for me.
Yeah, most certainly. So what would be like some obstacles of maintaining healthy friendships while juggling life? Like job, careers, relationships, like what are some of the things that you think that people face nowadays when it comes to juggling friendship as well as life?
Time
Time.
and communication.
But Jeff brought up that meme that I hate.
She hates it.
I hate that meme.
She
on
hates
social
that meme.
media
She
about,
hates it.
I don't put pressure on my friends. I feel like people get comfortable with being a bad friend. It is one thing to have like a personal life. You know, everybody got kids, you're married. No one's saying be available all the time. But reciprocity is a big thing. Like,
Hell yeah.
just like you make time for your friends, you should be able to make time. I mean, same way you make time for your husband and your partner, you should be able to make time
Got to.
with your friendships, support. But that meme that goes around, I wish somebody had it up on their phone because I cannot stand.
No,
I feel like it's so bad.
no,
right now.
I swear we legit just talked about that meme like the other day. I promise you, she hates that meme.
Because it's just
Move up.
the standard of friendship has become so. I just can't be there for you, and you should just understand. You can't. I can't never show up. Or if somebody texts me and I decide that I'm going to text 5-6 days later, and why are you bothered about that?
That's a problem, though.
It's rude.
That's a problem.
It's
And that's
rude.
how you treat your friends.
It's rude.
Wait, what part is rude?
So if your friend texts you, hey girl, or whatever, and let's say you super active on social media, but then you ignore the text and 6 days later you respond back, or you don't even respond back for a month or whatever, or your friend texts you a week later like, hey, did you get my text? And you get an attitude like, okay, I'm busy, but you active on social media. Nowadays, it's like, okay, I don't put that type of pressure on my friendships. If they didn't respond, they just didn't respond. It's like, I I never treated none of my friends like that. Why wouldn't you respond to your friend?
Yeah,
if
that's
you
no
active, if you
good.
active on social media, you got time to be on social media, that ain't your friend.
That's no good.
I mean, I'm a offer a counter opinion.
We love that.
I think it's important to communicate what type of friend you want and
Yeah.
who they want to be, because if somebody is on social media, that might just be a disconnect. They might be disassociating. Like they can't deal with life, which you might be life, or something might be happening on their real life on the phone. If they could be the person on social media, I'm liking this, I'm doing that. Like I've been there because I have judged people on that and been like, I saw you was on Instagram, you was on this, you commented on so and so, but you couldn't answer me. They may not have been able to deal with me, which also may be a reflection of what they're going through. So, and I've also been that person. I don't go on social media. I said, don't follow me. I'm not on social media like that. But there have been times, we talked about this earlier, as a Virgo, I might ghost people, but I might ghost because I'm literally going through something that I have to process myself and before I can tell my friends. So now in my friend group, they know, we've communicated, they understand of like, all right, if Celeste don't hit me back, she might be processing something. I'm gonna hit her up later. But I had to communicate it. I had to. But somebody
You
had
talk
to
about
call me.
after the fact? Because
So yeah, somebody had to call me on it to be like, girl, like I hit you with a hey girl text.
yeah,
And let's say, for instance, we might have been working on a project together, work-wise. I hit you with a hey girl text. You answered the work email. I've been waiting for you to respond to this hey girl text. Like that, like she felt some type of way. And I'm glad she told me she felt some type of way. Because then I was like, oh, actually, I really only have the mental capacity to do my daily job.
so how did you respond?
I literally had to, like, she called me. Like, it wasn't even like a text thing anymore. It was like she called me and she was
Right.
like, all right, you answered that work. Like, I'm on that thread. Why can you answer that and you not answer me? And I was like, oh.
But see, I like that because you got a person who holds you accountable,
And
and
you
then you
took
have the person
accountability.
that takes accountability.
Yes.
That's a strong, solid friendship to me.
Yeah.
But the ones that you kind of pointed out to, and it's like almost disrespectful. How dare you even call me out on? I don't gotta answer you. It's just like that's just weird to me, and I feel like we all go through, things and we all handle things differently. But if it's that bad for you that you can't communicate, I would just say, hey, can I hit you later? I'm really just not feeling it. And then it should be respected right then and there.
Yep.
But to ghost somebody completely, that is just outrageous to me.
Can I ask y'all a question? And I hope I'm not getting into your questions, Drill.
Go ahead.
But do you think that that's a healthy way to move through friendships or any relationship by ghosting people?
Absolutely not.
It's not. But I also don't think people, at least my experience, I view it as you may not have the skill set to know how to communicate.
Yeah.
Like something, again, we're in a different society where people can just drop off digitally off the face of the earth if they wanted to. So I think ghosting, to me, lets me know in any type of relationship, you can't handle who I am.
And here's what I want to offer from that, because I know I've been guilty a time or two or three or four of ghosting people, but and I know that I've ghosted some pretty decent people also. And how does anyone ever know how to handle you or how to treat you if you don't communicate how you feel about how they've handled you? Instead of just going ghost and disappearing, that's not teaching them and that's not helping them learn how to handle you better.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But what you're saying, that's healthy ways. But if we want to keep it 100, like we in the generation that we in now, ain't nothing to cut a bitch off.
No, seriously.
You do something online, I'm cutting you
Oh,
off.
it's curtains.
And that's because we grew up with seeing like dating shows or reality shows where they would have multiple people competing for one person. And they send them home. And so that's where our narratives have been built on, of viewing stuff like that, of cutting people off or ghosting people off, or I'll pick you up, I'll put you on the shelf and I'll talk to you when I feel like it. And that those more so are the toxic ones. But I do love a fact. I think one thing that I'm doing this year is speaking up for not even just for myself, but being intentional about me. So if there's certain things that I dislike, before I Chuck the Deuces, I'm going to talk to you about it first.
Yeah.
And that's friendship, relationship, or anything. Like that's just where I'm at now. But some people just don't know how to communicate that because they're not used to it. And they feel like that if I say it, I got to be angry that I'm saying it.
Yeah.
No, setting boundaries doesn't mean you're angry. It just means that, hey, I don't like this. This is what it is, and this is how you're going to treat me. But that doesn't mean I'm angry because I'm saying it. I'm just setting these boundaries there.
But isn't that weird though?
It's very weird.
It's weird, like how, like, I can literally tell somebody, hey, don't slap me, that hurts. Or don't do this to me, that affects me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying it in the most nice, positive way that I feel like you can receive it. However, because I'm not angry and because I'm not lashing out or barking at you, they feel like it's okay for you to continue to keep that behavior.
But baby, they want you to bark. They want you to bark. They want you to be angry.
That's
but
wild to
I'm
me,
not there
though.
no more. I'm not there no more. I'm not there for yelling at people and screaming at people and cussing at people and slapping people for them to treat me how I treat them. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, at my big age, I don't got time.
I'm old.
I take blood pressure pills.
I mean,
Baby, I have to woo-saw.
I need a value. I need something because I can't let you run me into an aneurysm, heart attack, stroke.
'Cause
All
that stuff-
because you're
now
not gonna
that is
change your
real.
behavior. Because listen, I just can't do it. They had me down there to Willie Watkins, all because you ain't gonna change the way you handle me.
All painted up. And
Yeah, no.
laid down and
In that case, wrap me in some plastic and turn me loose.
turn me loose.
Bah.
Y'all, I'm screaming. Do you think that you are a healthy friend?
yes, absolutely.
That's debatable.
Roll the
Roll the footage.
The jury is out, baby.
so that's
All of
about
my
roll.
friends.
Yeah.
I took a survey before I arrived here, and
So
I definitely think I've evolved into a better friend. Like all of us have grown together. You know,
yeah.
I really had to let people know what I wanted and when I wanted it. I will say what's made me a healthy friend, a better friend, is therapy.
Oh,
Hands down.
I need to.
Since I've been in therapy,
I need to.
like I feel I'm able to show up for my friends better and say to them, "Oh, hey girl, like I can't do this," or "Hey, God," whoever it is, it don't matter. Here's what I need from you in this moment. Or I also realized I became a better friend when I became more vulnerable. Because I always thought like, oh, you know, I think we talked about this earlier off camera, like Virgo traits. We let you know just enough. Just enough. But then I realized I was not allowing my friends to show up because I was only giving them just enough. So I always thought everything was fine. And I'm over here laying on the floor, cracking apart. And they call me, I'm like, I'm fine. Everything's good. The world is
Yeah.
burning.
I want to go to therapy. Why niggas don't like to go to therapy?
I don't know. It's great.
Take me,
Some of it,
please.
you can get it for free. There are plenty of affordable options for people. And make sure you put that in the
We're gonna
cards
drop the
and
link
stuff.
down
Just all the
below.
links, whatever, resources for people. But no, I absolutely think therapy helped me be a better friend.
Yeah. So I feel like that I'm a good friend. I do feel like in certain aspects I could be better. But the key point that you said was therapy to me. I feel like I have a lot of baggage that I need to unpack in my life. You know, different friends, you know how, when you learn a person, you learn how to love them. You learn how to treat them. And you can't treat everybody the same. I don't care what you say.
Nope.
Can't treat every friend the same because every friend ain't the same. But with this one right here, we'll go head to head. And she'll be like, I ain't heard from you. Why I ain't heard from you? And it's because like, and I had to learn her as a friend to learn how to treat her. You know what I'm saying? And so with that being said, it's a lot of things that like she'll know. Like a lot of times when I'm going through stuff, I don't want to talk about it. She not that friend. If she going through something, she want to talk about it. And she be like, well, why you not talking to me about it? And I'm like, okay. And she be like, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. No, you're not. What's wrong? And I don't want to unpack it. And I do feel like that therapy will be something that will help me be vulnerable with my friends so I can be a more healthier friend to my friends.
Don't be acting like I be bullying you into talking.
Oh, you be
Because
on,
me and Will don't even talk like that on the phone.
you be on my case though.
But
Don't
we
a-
talk every day, and I feel like he treat me like chopped liver.
Don't act like you don't give me the blues.
I mean, I call you out on your shit.
Yeah.
I do. Like, especially like the text stuff. If I text and a whole week go by, I would definitely tell them like, you ain't responding to that text. But anyway,
You do her like that?
Well, so I'm terrible, period, when it comes to communication. Period. And that's all across the board. Like I'm very terrible, even when it comes to me dating someone, friendship. I'm very terrible when it comes to communication. So yes,
You've gotten better with communication, though. I'll say that. I'm gonna give you.
I have,
tens. I'ma give you
and
a
I
10.
can say this because this is in our friendship.
Yeah.
This was in our friendship. You had to hold me accountable of me communicating, of me, because it's a lot of things I would not communicate. Boundaries, yeah. We had to set those boundaries. And that's why I say I'm still learning as a friend. I'm still learning how to treat my friends and loving them, because my friends mean everything to me. And so I want them to feel loved. I want them to feel happy. And now I'm a good friend I'm going to amp you up. I'm going to be your hype man. I'm going to tell you you're beautiful. I'm going to tell you I love you. I'm going to tell you all this stuff. But when it comes to like certain things, I do need to learn a little bit more.
Yeah, I think it's again, like you said before, it's learning people, and it's a constant thing because people
Constance.
are not the same. Like I'm a different person than I was when I came in this room.
Absolutely.
Like you literally are constantly evolving.
It's getting a little warm, honey. Let me
I
take
was about to say that's why I had to move this blanket.
Ooh, let me take
My
these glasses off,
undercarriage was
honey.
saying
Ooh,
that.
it's heat coming from my undercarriage.
don't be so waving that over here.
You heard talking about don't be waving it over here?
I said this undercarriage had got steamy, baby.
Ooh, Lord.
But I think what it is like the constant commitment. Like you have to legit make a constant commitment to being like, all right, you my people, we going through this. Because again, I'm going to be different. I'm not always going to be this perfect Celeste that people engage with.
Really?
I know. I have my moments. I do have my moments. But I also know with my friends, I don't have to be perfect. And I think that was what I had to learn. I didn't have to be perfect
That's
for
their
them
vulnerable.
to love me. Yeah, I didn't have to
Their
be perfect
vulnerability,
for them to
yeah.
love me.
And so I've always felt like I was a great friend, like when it came to the communication. Clearly, y'all can see I communicate. I communicate about everything.
Yeah.
And showing up, being present, all of those things, being loyal, just all of those things. But then what I did learn as I am evolving into the woman that I am growing into,
I love
I
that for
am
you, pretty
learn-
woman.
Wrong woman.
I'm learning that one of the things that I realize is unhealthy for my friendships, but it's also unhealthy for me, is unrealistic expectations.
Talk about it.
Speak on it.
And I had to learn, at my age, I had to also learn that everybody doesn't deal with situations like I do. So I do give grace more, but I still want to understand. I'm still going to call you. Help me understand, because I'm a Gemini. I got to understand what you talk about. I got to understand why you moved the way you did. But the unrealistic expectations is
Yeah.
so big.
Listen, I think I still, it's a daily, it has to be a daily practice. Because again, as a Virgo, yeah, and everyone else is not perfect like us. They don't think like, but it's more like you said before, everyone doesn't think like you. So you can't expect people to do what you would do and how you would do it unless and for me, I will explicitly tell people, and I've had to stop this because I realized I was being a bad friend. and actually trying to solve people's problems for them. I thought I was being a good friend. I'd be like, oh, well, you have this problem. I've thought about it, and here are all the things you need to do. And I didn't ask you for that. I didn't ask you for that, Celeste. What I asked for was a space for you to listen.
And now all you're doing is
And-
handicapping them.
Look, I'm Iyanla Van Zant in people's lives. And I'm like, how do you not appreciate this? Now, it's very hard for me, so I kept a journal. So when people tell me their problems, I fix it in my journal. And then-
I've never had a friend to tell me that. Because you know I'm a problem solver.
No,
Yeah.
not everybody wants their and someone had to tell me. Like, I didn't call you for that. Because then it helps me worry less about people. But again, not my job. Not my job. I have a friend, a very dear friend, was going through some situations last year, and I would be like, oh my God, I want to fix this for her. I want to fix it. I want to make it better. And it felt like to me, it felt like she was stuck. But again, not my problem.
Are you an empath?
Very much so. Like, I will literally wake up in the
Same.
morning and
She
think
is too.
about all the things that my friends or
So
my
are you.
family is going through and how I can fix it. Israel, God, I can fix this.
By yourself, right?
Just one person. Just
Got
one
it.
person. I can fix it. Everybody get together. We gonna roll up.
Yeah, like, these
We
are
finna take
things.
shots.
It is 1,000
Kumbaya.
people that got bombed, and you
And
can
guess
fix
what?
it by yourself. Got it.
Just get a
That's
bottle and
like,
put it in
man,
rotation. We happy.
My brain will literally think, but again, not everybody is seeking that. What was it? 2 weeks ago. I had to be reminded of it. My sister sent through a text to the family group text about my niece. My niece is in college. Hey, little Crystal.
Look,
So my sister, she's a junior.
That's
Crystal
Crystal.
Junior. Crystal Junior. So she's in school in Rhode Island, doing her thing. Doing
where is
great.
that?
I know, right? Far from Black people.
Yes.
Uh,
Very far.
But she sent through like, my niece sent this through the text, and she's like, here's things that are happening with me. She got a little job or whatever. My sister sent through a follow text of being like, hey, can y'all like send through, send her snacks, do whatever, blah, blah, blah. In my head, I immediately went to fixing. I'm like, well, if there's a budget or an Amazon link or a da-da-da-da-da, whatever. My sister was like, I didn't ask you for any of that. I didn't ask you for, like, if you can help. But don't send through several solutions. And I was like,
But you know what I had to learn? The opposite side of that. I just stopped helping people because people used to piss me off that they wasn't helping themselves. So for me to have my peace, I'm going to let you deal with your shit. Didn't I just tell you that the other day?
Yeah.
I said, because I'm normally that friend, like if something going on with you, somebody mistreated you, I'm that friend that's angry, like, me and you got a problem because you did something to my friend. And then they still be with that person or whatever. I'm like, you know what? You like it, I love it.
I was going to say,
like,
a Gemini.
And I had a friend before that I helped. She was like living in someone's house, right? And she was struggling financially. And I called myself helping her get an interview with the federal government, right? Do you know this girl had the audacity not to show up for the interview?
Not the audacity.
The audacity.
Audacity.
I mean, you
It's
know how many people want
audacity.
to...
She from Baltimore.
Audacity.
No,
Everybody
we just
say
said
it with the
R.
R.
Okay, y'all go.
Audacity.
In concert drill.
Audacity.
Everybody, let's do it together.
Audacity.
Shut it up. But she didn't show up. And I remember...
To the interview?
No, she did not show up.
Wait. Did she ask for you to set the interview up?
Yes. She said she wanted a job. And I helped her. I did her application, everything for her. She just did not show up. And we got into an argument about it. And she was so nonchalant about it. And I was like, don't you ever ask me for another favor.
Ever.
I promise you. And I'm like, I'm always doing that, though. And it's taken me, I'm 36 now. It's taken me this year to really create boundaries for myself and other people.
There go that word again.
I think at the bottom of the
Boundaries.
screen, we just need to have like the key words is communication.
Subtext. Bound.
But you know the thing about it is,
Let's make up a song.
I think the really key point about this entire conversation is everyone has said, this year, I've learned like we've all have said, like 2023 has been a year that we just kind of say, hey,
I mean, I
But
would
damn
say-
it, isn't it working for y'all though?
I mean,
working.
yes, but also I think we've always had boundaries. They just change as you change. Like what
Sure,
you're
yeah.
willing to put up with changes.
No,
Yeah.
oh, for real.
Like you really, the boundaries change as you change, as you learn things. The things that you put up with way back when, it wasn't that you didn't have boundaries. They were just far, far off. But it was real loose.
Well,
We knew what we wanted.
Yeah,
But
they
we
was
weren't
there.
standing on it.
but I'm gonna say that, yeah.
Stand on that
yeah,
shit.
I had boundaries, but they wasn't like firm. Like it was kind of like, don't do this, and they did it. I was like, oh, okay,
Okay, all right.
that's all right. You okay?
Just
you
like
did
you
it
walk
anyway.
away from that guy who ghosted you.
Thank you.
You went on 2 dates and he ghosted you for a month. You cut him off, didn't you?
I don't talk about no ghosts.
Oh, it's the same thing though. If your
is
friend's
same
ghosting you and
Baby,
that's
'cause
not what you want.
Drell is Ghost Rider. Okay. Ghost Rider.
Girl, don't get me started.
Hey y'all, did y'all used to watch that show growing up?
Yes.
I love Ghost Rider. Sorry, off the
This is
subject.
off
He
topic,
knows when he
but
called me.
Where are cartoons? You guys, where are the cartoons?
They're gone.
Carmen San Diego.
Okay, so here's another question. So, what has been the number one thing that you've been working on in your life to be happier and healthier?
Fuck more.
What?
Did you say?
Oh, did I say that?
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I heard what I heard.
I mean, that sounds like, yeah.
Look.
Look, you got a hand fire.
That's why that's my.
Okay,
Well,